Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Litara and I'm so happy to see you guys again, guys and girls and whoever you guys identify with. I'm so happy to be back and I wanted to make this video as a part 2 or a follow-up to my previous video that I did. It was a very short, like a 15-minute thing about vulnerability, where I share some of my insights, about how being vulnerable allows us to connect to the world, to the universal field that we call universe, that is life force energy, that is the divine and nature and everything that we are. And I felt like that video, when I made it, I was in a certain state of mind and it was more general than I intended it to be. So I really felt called today to come up here again and make another video for you guys uh, and to share a little bit of my personal story as an example of how, by allowing myself to be vulnerable, I actually started healing and growing on my journey as a person, as a soul, as a woman, as a human being, first and foremost. And just to kind of show you guys maybe the importance of it. I think that we as society and human beings, because we have been conditioned by, by the system with a lot of limiting beliefs and ancestral trauma and woundings and all the events that our human race has been through during the past few thousands of years, it has influenced us in a big, big way, in a dramatic way, I would say. And then I noticed about myself and some other people, friends that I had, or people that I work with, my clients, my soul tribe, and just noticing, even my parents or my family. I'm Eastern European. I have Slavic background and also Romanian, Balkanic descent as well on my father's bloodline. So I know for sure for a lot of us, people like me who have any kind of Eastern European or Western European or other, interesting background that is not, born and raised in the USA, where I live right now. For us, I have noticed how we have been carrying a lot of beliefs in our mind and in our subconscious mind and our body, all this heavy, DNA survival codes and survival mechanisms and fears of opening up, the fears of opening our heart to the world, to other people, to be vulnerable, to not be always strong or to speak, to share something on our deepest feelings, our deepest worries, our deepest, wounds. And we were taught not to share our pain. And I noticed that a lot of times this pain, for myself, for example, that I've been carrying, it was kind of passed on to me by my ancestors, involuntarily, of course, but it's all been sitting in my body, and I realized that this conditioning, these beliefs of I have to deal with it all alone. I have to do it all by myself. I cannot, open my heart to people. I cannot share. I have to just be silent, like shut up, shove it down my throat. It literally blocked our throat energy center, our self-expression, and it kind of built up, this energetic wall, these defense mechanisms that once protected our ancestors and us, maybe in early childhood or any other situations in past lives and so on, from being hurt, that protected our life. They were protecting us. They were allowing us to stay alive and to survive. At a certain time and point in our evolution, as a human being, as a soul on this journey, these mechanisms, they turn into these thick walls, and they are not allowing us, if we don't acknowledge them, if we don't do anything with it, they don't allow us to receive in general, like this flow of life that flows towards us, right? From the universe, from the divine, from people, from the world. It can come in any shape or form. So all this energy that we call life or life force, aka love, right? Which comes in the form of a friendly conversation that can help you, get an insight, receiving healing, receiving help from other people and or professionals. If we feel depressed or we feel anxious or we are going through some tough time in our lives, if we have some any unresolved emotional, blockages, unexpressed emotions, unresolved traumatic moments, etc., etc., all of these things, I feel like energetically, they keep sitting, stuck inside of us, in our body, in our cells, it's in our DNA, it's in our subconscious mind, it's in our energy field, and it's like they block. I noticed, about myself before, it's like I had this like a closed door on my heart center, my heart chakra. And for many years I thought that this door that I closed, right, towards the external world, towards the people, it was protecting me, it was keeping me safe, right, because of some events that happened to me in childhood and in early, my younger years, my college years, which I'm going to talk about a little bit today. And then within last few years on my self-growth journey, the more conscious I became, the more I started becoming of what conditioning is. I realized like what my true essence is. Like I started learning to discern, right, where it's me talking, right, where my true authentic self is, telling me what to do, right, and how I feel and who I am actually, and where there is this conditioning, where there is all other foreign energy or distorted, energy in the form of programming or beliefs or etc., pain or whatever, and that was not mine, so I started kind of really discerning, and that's what I realized, on my healing journey, on my self-growth journey. At some point about 2 years ago, I realized that these walls, the doors that I closed in my heart towards the external world, were basically blocking me. It was a huge blockage. It was a big obstacle. And while inside of me, my heart and my soul, my essence, was craving, was yearning for compassion, for love, for being seen, for being heard, for being understood. She just wanted to share. She just wanted to, share this huge burden of, emotions, of pain, of depression and trauma, that, she wanted to receive that, necessary help. She wanted to receive the compassion, the understanding, the kindness, the love, the help that she needed. And my mind, being the protector in our body, right, my mind was all shutting it down. It was not allowing me, I wasn't allowing myself on a conscious level to reach out, to even reach out for help, even in small, minor situations in life. And I really felt that, the more I worked with myself, the more I healed, the more I took little steps, towards the divine, towards receiving, help and information and compassion, understanding, healing sessions with all kind of, specialists and light workers and professionals in different fields. And even, just sharing, just allowing myself to share with a friend, something that I was going through on a deeper level, something that I couldn't handle all by myself, I just felt how I started feeling this release, you know. I realized how, you know, our wounded ego, my wounded ego, that was seeing an enemy in every, you know, every person around me, right, in the world, from back in the day, right? It's like, you know, our wounded ego, when something happens, right, when a traumatic event happens, you know, we kind of close in and we shut off this door between us and the world, right? Because other people, you know, they seem to us, our mind, our ego mind sees the other person, right, that hurts us as an enemy, you know, and that person belongs to this external world, right? So we kind of block internally, we kind of block, you know, our essence, our being, you know, from being in contact, right? Basically rejecting contact, you know, energetically with the outside world. And then if that trauma and the pain is not healed and it's not addressed, it's not resolved at the right time, you know, on due time, then this wall, this protective wall, you know, it sits there and it keeps blocking us, right? Because what happens is later, you know, the mind, the ego, always kind of tries to separate us. You know, it sees that, look, this is me and I'm safe here within my little box, and then the rest of the world, right? Because, oh, that person hurt me, and oh, that person hurt me, and oh, my mom said this, and oh, my dad did that, you know, all of this pain that is caused to us by other people. People are part of the world, right? We are all manifestations, right? We are forms of through which the divine love is being expressed, through which life force is expressed, right? So we are all connected, and we're all part of this big world that we call the universe, the divine, aka life. So when we close up, you know, ourselves in our hearts in order to prevent more suffering, more pain, you know, more being hurt, you know, our ego mind decides that, oh, people, you know, are hurtful. Like if I open up again, then people are gonna hurt me. They're gonna cause me pain, and I don't want to feel pain anymore, right? The job of ego mind for us is to protect us, right? So then unknowingly we block ourselves, right, by trying to protect us initially, but then on a longer term the pain just sits there, or like that suffering, or that the fear that, you know, of being hurt again, and so on. So what happens is, I noticed that, you know, about myself, and I want to share it with you guys, because I feel like this is not just about me, you know. I feel like this is valid for many people, because this is part of our human being journey, you know. It's part of our life as humans on planet Earth, and it's very physical, you know. It's a very physical experience, and I realize how it affects on a very deep level our physical material life. Right here we cannot be fully happy if we are closed in ourselves, in our little world, and we believe that we are separate, you know. Oh, I'm the good girl or the good guy, and then the rest of the world is bad, you know. And then these doors, you know, in order for them to open, we you know, we got to start trusting the world again. We got to start trusting the people. We got to start taking little steps, you know, as much as we are comfortable, you know, to do so, towards, you know, opening up. And it's not easy. A lot of times it's very hard and very difficult, because, you know, that vulnerable, you know, essence, our soul, our gentle, fragile, energetic being that we are inside, you know, it is very vulnerable, it is very soft, it is very, you know, it's made all out of love. And true love is gentle, true love is fragile, true love is vulnerable, in the sense that it's soft and it's very open, and it's very I don't know, it's hard for me to find words, guys. You know, it's like this. That's what I realized. Our soul is very gentle. It's very alive, you know, and it's very. It feels everything, you know. It's very empathetic. So once we get hurt, you know, and then if it happens over and over, right, many times during our lives, then the soul keeps, building, the ego mind keeps building, more walls and closing more doors, right, as in reaction to that situation that caused the pain or the harm, right? And it kind of builds this almost like a very thick skin, like a very thick box, or like a, what's the word, like a big brick wall, and it makes it thick and it makes us tough. It's like we toughen up. We start believing that we got to be tough, and we got to be, sometimes cruel, and it's not safe for us to open up. It's not safe to trust people and the world and trust life and the universe again. And for example, with me, what I want to tell you guys, right, how I realized that it was preventing me. It was basically this wall around my heart. I mean, I think it's multiple walls. I don't think it's just one wall. I think it's like, every situation that hurts us, we built a wall. And then like one day, about 9 months ago, when I moved to San Francisco Bay Area, where I currently live, I was in Airbnb. It was like beginning of January 2024, I think. And I remember, it was a new area to me. I barely knew 2 people in the area, but I felt called to come here, And I was sitting on the porch of this house where I was renting, a room on Airbnb. And the owner of the house, they have, a little swing, like a very nice swing right on the porch. And then the porch is facing, across the street, there is a beautiful hill with a very lush green park. And I loved, I just loved to sit there, on the swing and just, in the morning having my cup of hot tea with honey, doing my meditation. It was my morning ritual. And I would just sit there, Sometimes it would rain, or it was like after the rain, and I would inhale this fresh air, and I would just gaze. I would just, observe this greenery, of the hill, of the park, the hiking trails right across the street from me. And I would always get some insights, it was just like meditative state for me. And I remember that one day, I think it was like the end of January or something, I just moved for like 2 weeks here, and I was sitting on this, swing, having my tea. And it's a very nice, quiet, single family residential area. And, people would just, pass by me, people walking the dogs, like the morning routine, and people just sometimes, say hi or whatever. And it's, it's a big, big population around here. Like it's a, Silicon Valley area, and there's like millions of people residing here, right? So it's a very busy, location. And that was the moment when I caught myself thinking, I was just sitting there. And then people would pass by me, and I would say, hi. And then they wouldn't even turn around, they wouldn't hear me. And I remember I felt it was as if there was like an invisible wall between me and them, just, passers-by, some neighbors on the street, right? And then another time I tried it again, right? I started saying louder, because I'm like, what if maybe I'm not loud enough, right? Maybe they don't hear me. But the front yard was very small, like it's just like a few yards, a few feet from the road. There was no fence, and it was like an open front yard, whatever. So I'm sitting there, and I'm saying, hi, just waving at people. And I remember like the people would just like not notice me, like zilch. And then I caught myself thinking, I was like, wait a minute, I realized, first of all, that when I was trying to say hi, my voice would barely come up. My voice was like, hi. Like I was just like a dying cat, like I could basically barely hear myself. So I realized that I had trouble, I had issues, I had difficulties with even like saying hi. Just opening up to to my neighbors. Okay, yeah, maybe strangers, but still, it was a very nice neighborhood, and I just felt called to, say hi in the morning. It was such a nice, beautiful environment. It was very healing, that place for me. Guys, nature is very, very healing. Please, as much as you can, wherever you live, it doesn't matter. Get your ass out in nature. Just sit there for as long as you can, as often as you can, preferably barefoot. Mother Nature a little parenthesis here, right? Mother Nature is very nurturing. We receive this nurturing, unconditional love, energy from our planet Earth, you know, literally from the ground. You know, planet Earth is like a huge, huge, like battery, you know, charger. We can get recharged and renewed and healed by just being out in nature. So, highly recommend you that. It really helped me heal and grow and expand and come back to myself, honestly. Come back to my true self by being out in nature a lot this year, particularly 2024. There was something magical for me. I don't know. There was something huge about connecting to nature, specifically this year for me. And if you guys feel the same, you know, please feel free to share your feelings, your insights, your experiences. If you resonate with this, I would love to hear the story, guys. So anyway, closing the parenthesis. While I was sitting there, I realized that I remember vividly that feeling, that it was an internal feeling. I realized that I made myself invisible to people. I made myself somehow invisible to the world. And you know what I realized, guys? That human beings, that we are alive, we're made of physical life force energy, and this is part of life. All the things that we call life, we are alive because we are present here in this body, physically, materially. So all people, you know, trees, nature, waters, mountains, animals, all living creatures, including us, we are all one. We are all part of this one living realm, you know, that we call physical life, that we call life, you know, as human beings. And that's when it hit me. I felt that I live in a millions of people kind of city, right? I live in an area that has a lot of population. There's tons of people, there's tons of things, but I felt alone. I felt that I was literally alone and so deeply lonely, like on a heart level, on a soul level. I felt that I was so lonely in my little world that I created for myself, right? In my heart, in my body, like in my, you know, in my reality, in my physical, energetical reality. It's like I'm physically next to people, but energetically, mentally, psychologically, subconsciously, I was alone in this jail, surrounded by a bunch of these thick walls that used to protect me once. And now they were basically making up the walls of this jail, this inner jail that I put myself into. And I realized that, wow, how much was I suffering from cutting myself out. It's like, you know, I'm speaking now and I'm seeing this vision of like, me as a baby, right? And there is this cord, right? Like this umbilical cord, right? That it's going, you know, it starts with my belly button, you know, and it connects me to the world, right? To the world around me, to the universe, to the divine, to life, you know, to nature, just life in general, like to the universe itself. And I felt like that I cut the cord. At some point, I realized that I've cut that cord that was connecting me to life itself. And life is love, you know, life is unconditional love in the physical form. And we are, you know, expressions of this love of the divine in the physical material body. And we are all part of this big system, you know. It's like a neural connection, you know. It's like we are these little branches, you know, on this huge tree of life, like literally, energetically, right, physically. And that's what I realized. I was like, why do I continue, you know, suffering and keeping, you know, all, you know, a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, a lot of, you know, unexpressed thoughts, ideas, emotions, a lot of unlived moments that my soul wanted to live, my authentic self. I wanted to be fully alive. I wanted to live this life fully on this planet. That's when it hit me. I realized that all my spiritual growth, and I feel like this is going to be valid for a lot of people. I truly, sincerely believe that all our spiritual journey, the purpose of us as souls on spiritual level, of to incarnate here on earth, we come here not to disconnect from our physical body, not to be, oh, you know what, I'm above all these emotions, I'm not my emotions, I am not my body, and I'm just gonna sit and meditate, and I connect to God and sit in the higher chakras only. No, guys, I feel like this is a big illusion. This is a big distorted illusion that was also, right, instilled in our subconscious minds by the old system, by the matrix, because they didn't want us to be happy and alive. Nobody until recently, right, on this earth, the people and the entities that used to control, society and planet Earth until recently, the old system, right, the old matrix, they knew the truth. They knew that our soul and spiritual journey starts with accepting and loving unconditionally all our quote unquote lower expressions, which is for me our body, our nature, our sexual energy, our feelings, our emotions, our cells. Guys, we're here for pleasure. That's what it hit me. I am not here to suffer. No one is. We are here to just experience this fucking life like fully, 100%. We are not here to just, go to work, pay some bills, get a house, make some babies and die. We're not just here to have a pale, unexpressive, boring experience. We are not here anymore. We cannot find God. We cannot find the enlightenment, the spiritual awakening, whatever we're seeking. We cannot find it anymore, by going up in the mountains, right, all alone and isolating ourselves and sitting there meditating for years. That was the old school spirituality. Now the spirituality of New Earth, like the 5D, 5-dimensional spirituality, for me is the way I've been shown, is living our life fully. We bring the divine frequencies of Source, God, Mother, Father, Divine, Life, Source, Life Force, whatever you want to call it, right? We are bringing ourselves fully into this journey only when we accept and love this physical material life, when we start enjoying it. And I realize that I don't think that we can actually fully enjoy it if we cut the cord from life itself, if we cut ourselves and put these walls, around our heart, around our energy, as a human being, if we don't share with people what we're going through, if we try to be always strong and always successful and be on top of the world, it's very exhausting. And that's what I realized. We were never meant to do this alone, my friends. Yes, we are sovereign beings. That's true, I feel like. And it's very important for us to cultivate that sense of oneness with ourselves, right? The connection, spending time with journaling, meditating, walking, being in nature, singing, dancing, right? Like whatever, doing sports, running, maybe for someone jogging is their meditation, painting, creating, building something, whatever makes us feel that we are here fully present, whatever makes us feel connected, right? Feel us, whatever makes us feel fully one with ourselves in that moment of life, as a meditation, as one with the divine consciousness with the great I am, the divine source. That's important. Yes, that time, spending time in aloneness, right, with ourselves, to connect, to stay grounded, to be centered, it is very important. But I don't believe anymore, you guys, in this distorted spirituality BS that they say, oh, we come here alone and we go alone. I believe that we, me, for example, and many other people, we take it like, to the extreme. We cut ourselves from potential, amazing relationships that, we can grow in, maybe some potential divine unions by, following this doctrine, like, oh, I got to do it all alone. No, you can't do it all alone. Guys, we're here to co-create with, together, right? As a physical person, me as a physical body, me as a human self, having a healthy ego, right? Having a healthy personality, you know, a conscious person, I am here to co-create, in my opinion, I am here to co-create with my higher self in alignment and in oneness with the source of the divine love and divine energy that we call life, or, you know, God, or whatever, universal force, universal intellect, whatever you guys want to call it, depending on your relationship with the universe, right? With the divine and your spirituality and your consciousness. But this is all consciousness, you know? That higher self, you know, that is the source. And this is what I saw. I was like, when we cut this cord from life, when we start believing, right, this thing about I gotta do it all alone, I gotta be tough, I cannot share with anybody, you know, what I'm going through, you know, because I feel ashamed, I feel embarrassed, you know, oh my God, like, you know, I lost my job, right? Like, or like I don't have enough money, I'm broke and I'm depressed, and I know I'm barely making it, you know, day to day in my life, or, you know, I don't know something and I failed at something, or I'm not perfect, you know, all these things that are kind of, you know, boiling within us, and they are trying, you know, to catch our attention. They just like, it's like a, you know, open wound, right? It's like unhealed wound that is just there, and it sits there, right? And it's like it's emanating this like a radio signal, you know, like I'm here, I'm here, I'm here, you know, I'm in pain, like look at me, right? And I feel like we have a lot of people, we have a lot of this conditioning in our head, the same way that I had, that no, like it's like I cannot tell, I wouldn't even tell to my parents, you know, when I was going through some tough times, you know, like financial difficulties, relationship difficulties, you know, I had no place to live, you know, for like months, you know, I had to travel and go stay with my friends in different countries, different states, you know, for like almost 9 months. I had to let go of my car, you know, last in 2023, guys. Like, one day maybe I think I will make some videos about my story so that you can see how universe will force us. You know, a lot of times when some interesting, difficult things happen to us, it is by the divine for us to start realizing that we need to share, that it's time for us to release ourselves from this internal energetic jail that we have built around our hearts for centuries, right? Out of survival, of course, and our ancestors, you know, our human history is full, right, with wars and World War II and World War One and before, right? So I guess what I'm trying to say is I realized that I cannot be mad, you know, even though I was before, I was very fucking pissed off with initially, right, with my ancestors and my parents, because I have seen all of this conditioning. I recognize the same conditioning and beliefs, you know, and behavioral patterns and mechanisms in them, my dad and my mom, 100%. But then I realized that I cannot be mad with them, I cannot be upset, because they did the best that they could. They were in survival mode for years, and nobody told them that, you know, they're safe to open up, you know, later down the road. So this is what this is. So I started accepting it, and then, you know, I started allowing myself, you know, I realized that I couldn't handle it anymore. I felt this almost like a heavy burden, you know, on my shoulders. Like I remember I still feel a little bit of, you know, it's like my shoulders are aching, you know, they're like stiff, you know, and tensed, because I realized that I have been carrying all this, you know, emotions, unresolved situations, anger, hate, shame, embarrassment, guilt about just being a human being, you know, just going through a human journey, you know, that is not without difficulties. You know, our human life here, you know, a lot of times it can be tough, it can be challenging. And You know, we're a community. That's what I realized. We are literally, physically, energetically, like a one big family, you know, all human beings on earth, no matter the race, the skin color, the eye color, the gender, the nationality, you know, social status. We're literally made of one and the same energy called matter, right? We have all this same vessel that we call physical body, and it's literally made out of the same energy. It's made by the divine love of the source of God manifested, you know, in oneness with material world, with the energy of matter, which is life force, and is the same energy that our planet Earth is made of, you know, on a physical level. So we're literally connected, and we were never born to do it all alone. We were never here to suffer in silence and just shove it up our throat and, oh, we're going to do it all alone. And we were never meant to cut ourselves, to cut the cord with, from, you know, with life, with the life force that everything around us and within us, guys, is life force, is love manifested in physical form, our body. That's what I realized, you know. And please take it only if it resonates. I'm not a guru or an expert or whatever you want to call me. Like, I don't want to, I'm not here to teach you anything. I believe that I'm here to just share my energy and my love and my story, you know, in the free form, whatever comes through, because I set my intention right before each video. I ask the divine to channel whatever it, you know, they want, whatever is needed for every person who's going to be watching this, right? So I want you guys to just receive these codes. I don't know how it works, but the way my voice works is when I speak from the heart and the flow, and when I just allow the flow of the divine consciousness of love and knowledge and energy, wisdom, just to just come through me, through my voice. Is like my voice gets these light codes that shift, that trigger activations, you know, in people's DNA and people's subconscious minds and their energy field. You know, it triggers, it activates some insights, and by, you know, by people just listening to me, and if it resonates, then something is going to happen. So I don't know how it will happen for you, but I know for sure that if I feel cold and deeply emotional right now to share this with you, to tell you this, it means that you need to hear it for a reason. And what the reason is, it's just up to you to see and decide, you know, because I am no one to tell you. I am not here to tell you what to do and how to live your life, but I just realized that, you know, the media and the politics, they all, you know, they do everything possible to push this narrative of separation. You know, they do everything they can to create an illusion of separation, right? To make us, the people, believe that we are so different and separate and we are against each other and the wars and etc. But what I saw, you know, truly, when I look at the world and my life and my journey, and generally just, you know, through the eyes of my soul, of my essence, my natural nature, my authentic self, this is what I see. I see that we are all human beings, at our human element. What makes us human is the same. We cry the same in all different languages, you know. We experience pain in the same way in different countries, you know. A black person and a white person and a Hispanic person and an Asian person. You know, an Asian mother will have the same kind of pain if she loses her baby that an American mother or Russian mother or African American or Nigerian or Serbian or Australian. It's all the same, guys. Our emotions, I believe that our emotions is what actually makes us alive and truly present on this planet Earth. Our emotions, our feelings, our desires, our dreams, you know, the thing that we call kindness, you know, is, for me, basically, this is unconditional love of the divine expressed through our heart on the human level, right? When we open our heart and we go and give someone a hug, right? If we walk on the road, and if I see someone, if we see someone crying or in pain, we can come and give them a hug, right? And we say that, oh, we show kindness. But what I feel like what we basically do is we share this unconditional love through a physical form, through our physical vessel, which we call our body, right? As human being to human being. And then this energy, it, the divine spiritual love, it becomes physical, it becomes tangible, material, and it's warm. It's like that feeling when the feeling that you feel, when you get a hug from a person who really loves you, a friend or your mother, or when you give a hug to someone that you really truly care for, you feel this, this fuzzy warm feeling in your chest and your heart. That's what it is. It's like we exchange soul to soul love through our body, and it's very warm, and we call it kindness and we call it compassion. So I realized that when I saw that I am lonely in my jail, in my internal jail, that I cut myself from people, because of some trauma in early childhood, whatever. And yes, I did suffer, I did experience a lot of pain, but I realized that it was time, and I wanted to. My soul was praying and asking me for, release, for healing, for forgiveness. I wanted to move on. I didn't want to be stuck in that pain and the dark place anymore, in that internal jail. And when I asked myself, what can I do? How do I do? Because that's what I felt. I felt like I couldn't take it anymore by myself. I couldn't. I remember a few weeks after, just my body just physically collapsed. I was experiencing a burnout kind of thing for like 6 days straight, you guys. I couldn't eat. I could barely drink water. I had zero energy. I was just lying down on my bed. My body was shaking like this, and I was just yelling. I was just crying like a wounded animal. And I would just say things and express and release. I would release anger. I was yelling. I was crying. I was talking. I was cursing. And I would just, I would just record it on my phone recorder, and then delete it. I just felt that this, my physical life, my living creature, my physical essence, that part of me that is fully alive, that is material, that is present here, that is human, my human self, she was suffering for centuries, and I had no idea about it until that moment. And I just started releasing. I was just purging out of my body. It was so much, a lot of unprocessed emotions and pain, and I knew it. I just felt it in that moment. It was ancestral as well, on the women in my ancestry and men in my ancestry, and I knew that I was here to clear that. I knew that this is my choice. I chose to come here in this family tree to help, myself and all my family and my whole lineage to heal and to move forward into a new life, where there is abundance and joy and pleasure, and receiving and feeling pleasure in life and feeling truly alive. And I wanted to leave all the suffering behind. And that's what I realized, that we were never meant to do it all alone, guys. We are here to co-create, first and foremost, with our higher self, but also, how they say that God works through people, right? The divine expresses itself through every living creature, through animals, through weather, through oceans, through nature, through every human being as well. Every person, every human being is a spark of God, is a divine little flame that we call soul, that is present, right, in each and every one of us, but at essence is always one with the source, with the divine, with the universe. And the universe is life. Nature is life. Planet Earth is our physical life, and our human self is very much alive, and it is not here to hurt us. it just wants to live. That's what I realized. I just wanted to live. I just wanted to be alive. I don't want to suffer. I don't want to carry all this heavy bag of burden. And then I saw that I needed to find compassion, first and foremost to myself. In order for me to heal, in order for me to release, to drop the burden, to allow myself to go on with my life, I realized that I needed compassion. I felt that I need to reach out to people. Just, feel that I'm not all alone in this. And that this bullshit delusion in my head is not true. And I remember the next day I was crying, and then I just called, there was this lady who is now my friend. She's amazing. And she lived just 2 blocks away from the house that I was staying at that time, the Airbnb. And I met her a few weeks previous to that. We weren't even that close, but I could feel, she was this very nurturing, beautiful, kind, compassionate woman, and she's older than me. She has this beautiful, divine mother kind of energy about her. And I don't know why, but I felt that I could trust her. And and I've been to her house before, one time. We had tea, we kind of talked, we connected. I sang for her, because guys, I'm a singer, right? I'm a voice activator, and I'm singing too. And when I sing, the energies activate people, right? When I sing and whatever. So I remember I finally, surrendered. I surrendered to the journey, to the universe, to the voice in my heart that said, enough is enough, Litara. You need help. You cannot do it all alone. And I called her and I said, hey, can I come by later today when you're home? And can I just give you a hug? That's what I realized. All I wanted, all that my internal human self wanted all this time, through the centuries, through the generations of my ancestry, that human part of me, all she wanted was to feel that she was not all alone in this. She just wanted human compassion. She wanted to feel the warmth of being alive, of being seen and received and heard. And yeah, my friend, she was amazing. She's an amazing individual and a beautiful soul. She said, oh my God, of course. And yeah, I remember that was the first time in my 38 years when I actually allowed myself to say out loud, hey, you know what? I'm going through this time, and this is how I feel. And I feel a lot of pain. And I feel like I just need a human hug. I was like, I cannot do it all alone. Being connected to the spirit energetically, it's one thing, but it's not enough. I realized that I'm a human being, and humans, right, we exchange energy on a physical level. And I do not wish to be isolated anymore. I was isolating myself internally for many, many decades. And I think that was the turning point for me in my journey, specifically through this last 2 years. It was just something magical. And she was like, yeah, of course. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. How if you feel, and I realized that I was having so much pain inside, and it was actually so easy. It dawned on me. I was like, why did I not do it before? How have I not done it before? Why didn't I allow myself to just, call people or ask and say, hey, you know what? I'm going through some hard time and this is how I feel. Can I get a hug? I think it has to do something with our, my Slavic background, because Slavic people, if you have any Russian or Slavic friends or Eastern European that had socialism in their countries and World War II experience, I think you will understand, or they will confirm to you. It's part of our Slavic, Eastern European DNA, luggage, that passed on memory, the genetic memory of the suffering and survival when we had to close up and not to be seen, and it was not safe, it was dangerous, for us to physically express ourselves, to speak the truth, to reach out, because there was a risk of being killed, shot by the government or whatever, right? The authorities and so on. And they still kill people for speaking the truth, in Russia. So it's still a process. It's a process on a collective consciousness level for us. But that's what I saw, you guys. I walked over my friend's house, a few hours later, and I just gave her a hug, and she was just holding me. She was just holding space for me. That's it. That's what I realized. All I needed all this time was compassion. And the biggest thing, guys, that hurt me to just even see for myself, that I was thinking, I thought that I was looking for compassion from other people. But in truth, I was the only one person that I, myself, that part of me, my inner child, my soul, my human self, my ego, call it whatever you want, but that's what I wanted. I was looking to receive compassion from myself. I realized how cruel, and tough and just hard on myself I have been, because of all this conditioning and, beliefs for so many years. It was distorting my perception of myself, and I was like, it was like me, the adult me, was telling like that inner child, right? Or like that soul, that other part of me, it was like I was telling myself, shut up, nobody needs this, you gotta do it all alone, you gotta go through this alone, right? You gotta be strong, you gotta be tough, I gotta do it all alone, so like shut up, and like, keep it to yourself, right? Basically that's what I saw. So there was this big part of me that she didn't give compassion. She did not feel kindness and compassion and love towards that other part of me. Guys, I hope I'm making sense. Please let me know if you need clarification or examples on anything that I say right now. But that's what I saw. I feel like that's what's happening, guys. This is why we feel depressed and burdened and tired, because I feel like billions of people, like we still have it somewhere deep inside of us, right? That limit, that belief that it's not safe for me to open up, it's not safe for me to be vulnerable, it's not okay for me, to tell people, my friends or other, right, anyone, right, that I failed, or I cannot do this, or I don't have enough money, or I'm broke, or I don't know how to deal with this, I don't know how, what to do, I feel like I'm screwed, and I don't know what to do with my life right now. I'm going through this transition, and I don't know who I am anymore. Because like, oh my God, what are the people gonna say? Oh my God, are they gonna think that I'm a loser, right, or whatever, right? All of these fears, right, of us, our fears of not being understood, of being judged, right, by other people. This all prevents us from receiving compassion, feeling the love, feeling the warmth of human kindness. Because guys, that's what I saw. I saw that I was living all this time in a big illusion. The world is not actually a cruel and bad place. It's just what our distorted ego mind, the fear inside of us, right here, right, our perception centers right here, this is how we see the world, right? We perceive it energetically, right, subconsciously. This is what our wounded, fearful ego wants us to believe, that, oh, the world is a dangerous place, oh, it's not safe, oh, you cannot do this, oh, what are they gonna think, oh my God, you're gonna be judged, and etc., right? It's like all of these fears, they prevented me from receiving compassion and healing and feeling that I'm not alone, that I am actually part, and I'm a very important part of this huge world that is called life, right? And all around us is love, guys. That's what I saw. My main realization was like, why on earth have I been cutting myself and isolating myself from all this huge limitless, energy that is, that is abundance, that is life, that is the world. The divine loves me, right? The world loves us, right? Truly, we are life. It's like we are cutting our cords from our bigger self, in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, we as human being here, like, right, this is me as a human being, this is my, like, my theoretically, right, smaller physical self, right? But like the rest of it, the rest of the world, it's actually an external expression of my internal essence, and that is unlimited. This is limitless life force, love and abundance, and just, manifestation power that is, within us. And when we cut ourselves from others, when we cut ourselves from sharing, from experiencing life, from coming together, when we don't allow ourselves to, give it a try, right, and go into that loving relationship, right, with that person that we really, really care for, but we are, we have our fears or doubts, or like, oh, I'm not worthy enough of them, and what can I give them? I don't make enough money. I don't have anything. I don't have a house. I don't have a car. Like, right, like what can I ever offer, right, to this person? Like he or she or they deserve better. All of these doubts, and conditioning. This is all BS, guys. This is all an illusion. That's what I realized in my journey. After that day, when I decided, when I allowed myself to open up to pretty much a stranger. I've known that person for like a few weeks, and I only saw her twice before that day. Before the day when I walked over to her door and I gave her a hug, and she held me, for a while, and I shared and I talked, and she listened to me. She just listened to me as a human being. I felt that I was back to oneness with life. I started feeling that this love, started flowing back into my world, into my heart, into my body. I won't even say sorry for my tears, guys, because honestly, I'm not fucking sorry. This is who we are. We are human beings, and I want you to feel. I want to be me. I feel like we need to be, just to allow ourselves to be ourselves. I want to be myself in every moment of my life, and I want the world to see who I am, my true authentic essence, because this is me right now. I am who I am right now, and I don't give a shit about the judgment anymore. I don't care about the likes or the number of subscribers. All I want to do, guys, is I just want to share with you, and I want to show you an example that it's possible. There is other way. We don't have to stay in it. We don't have to stay in loneliness. We don't have to stay in suffering. We need to allow ourselves to just be and express whatever way we feel like in the moment. And this is my vulnerability, right? Remember what I said? I wanted this video to be about, how being vulnerable allows us to heal and to come back, to wholeness, come back to who we are, and finally realize that we have always been home. We never left, you guys. We were never broken. We just were taught to believe that we are not good enough as human beings. We were taught that all our human expressions, anger, fear, joy, sexual desire, sadness, depression, excitement, and so all of our human expressions, they're not good enough, or they're not pretty, or they're dark, or they're evil, or they're not constructive, or they're negative. And here I am to tell you guys, being human is the most beautiful thing, and it's the most divine, spiritual thing that can happen to us. As souls, we cannot experience this beautiful world, this amazing, colorful, multidimensional life on planet Earth, if we have no physical body, if we have no human self, if we had no human ego, if we had no material physical emotions, if we had no sex, it wouldn't be us, it wouldn't be ourselves, it wouldn't be the same. And I truly personally believe that the divine, the source, Father God, the way I call him, you know, they created this for a reason. They created all of us, including our human expressions, even the lower ones that we call them low, for a reason. And it was all made out of love, unconditional, all encompassing, eternal, limitless love. And we chose to be here in this physical human body also for a reason. And even pain, that pain that I felt and that I healed from, the sexual abuse that I suffered when I was 21, that indescribable pain that I felt when I was 15 and a half years old, when my father told me some harsh words. He got angry at me and I was a teenager, and I love my father dearly. And when he told me that, I'm a stupid goat and he's gonna do this and that to me, that moment I remember that it was as if earth just has been swept away from under my feet. And I felt like a part of me, a big part of me died that day. And she was numb and asleep and pretty much dead until, a few years ago, when I started healing myself and I started forgiving myself and my dad and going through my journey and letting go. And I started to let go of the illusion that people are my enemies, that men are my enemies, that are bad, that they want to cause me suffering and pain. The illusion that I cannot trust life and nature and society is bad, and I have to do it all alone, and I should be tough and strong at all times and successfully successful. And it creates a lot of tension in our body, you guys. We cannot be always tough. We cannot be always happy also, right? Sometimes we need a moment of sadness. Sometimes we need grief to process something in order to let go of the old version of us, right? When we are going, right, through cycles of life, it's always, death and rebirth, death and rebirth. It never stops, you guys. And in order for us to let go of some past, emotion, past relationship, we need that grief, right? All our human emotions are designed by the divine for a reason. And we need them all, because that's what makes us, our experience, multicolorful. It's multidimensional. It's the way I see us. It's like a diamond, with many different facets, like many sides. Every emotion, every color of our human being and of our soul and our existence is like one of the colors of this beautiful diamond that we call life. And we are here to experience it fully, without restriction, without judgment. Let go of judgment, my friends. Stop here and now. Drop everything you're doing and just say it out loud. I let go of judgment. I, Litara White, I give you permission, and I officially release you from all your self-judgment, okay? Give yourself permission. Do this affirmation. Let it go. It's a mental cloud. It's like a fog above our eyes, that doesn't allow us to see fully ourselves. It doesn't allow us to fully see ourselves in all our splendor and our beauty and opulence of who we are as a soul, being one with this human being. Our human being, our human self, is as divine and as enlightened and spiritual as our soul. So I'm gonna ask you, my friends, please try not to deny yourself any human part of this life, of this experience. Be vulnerable. Don't cut your cord with life itself like I did before. Reconnect back and start receiving. Open the door in your heart, right? Release the pain. Let go of the pain. Let go of the walls. Let go of the blockages, and open your heart fully, like this, to nature, to world, to life, and start seeing it with love, with the eyes of love, and focus on that. Find something that you can love and be grateful for, be joyful about, and each day, even if it's a small little thing, Focus on that, dwell on that, write it down, be grateful, joy, experience joy, be fully alive, smile, be happy, dance, sing, make love to yourself, make love to each other, be out in nature, love animals, and be kind. Guys, my beautiful, beautiful friends, my beautiful souls and human beings, because you're worthy of it and you deserve the best, and we all deserve to be one with life, because we are life, guys. That's what I saw. It's an optical illusion, right? Like that I'm in this body and I am quote unquote separate from the world, right? This is just the way our eyes see it. But the truth is, we are all one. We are never separate. So allow yourself to cry when you feel like crying, no matter what people around you may say. Allow yourself to laugh when you want to laugh. Allow yourself to be angry when you're angry. Allow yourself to feel hate and admit it to yourself and express it in some kind of ecological way, right? Like acknowledge all and any emotion that come through your body, your mind at some point in your life without judgment. Just allow it to be, oh, okay, yeah, I feel hate right now. I hate this person. And then find a place and time when you don't project on other people, right? Make sure you don't hurt anyone else, but like find a way to express that hate, the anger, the rage, anything that comes through. Let it out from your body. Let it out through your voice. Let it out from your chest, Talk to people. Talk to people. Get to know your neighbor. I guarantee you guys, especially if you live in the United States of America, Canada, or some other, Western European countries, or Australia, I'm pretty much sure that there is a lot of you guys that you're watching this right now, and you've been living in your house or in your street or your neighborhood for like years or decades. And some of you may not even know the neighbor next door, and you have no idea like who the person is. And you live like strangers, and you basically live like 5 feet away from each other. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is destructive to us as humankind now. We gotta go back to oneness, you guys, because we cannot do this anymore in separation. And what I feel like separation has always been an illusion. Always. Where we were always one. So I guess for us, the next step would be as, the mankind, the human civilization, as the earthlings on this planet, I feel it's time for us, guys, to step into our oneness, to step out of the fog, clear the fogginess from in front of our eyes, and stop believing the media, stop believing the narrative, stop believing the TV and all of this, separation. Oh, I'm from Holland and I'm from Australia, all these, nationalities, all of this, physical appearances, that are different, from race to race, from person to person, our age, our occupation, all of that doesn't matter, you guys. At essence, we are all human. And this is what I believe personally. I believe that this is exactly what will bring us back into unity consciousness. Accepting and acknowledging that we are all human beings on individual and collective level. When we are going to start seeing beyond the borders of the countries, beyond the borders of the skin color and nationalities, beyond the borders of the age, beyond the borders of governments and differences, and languages that we speak, right? Like music is a universal language, right? Don't you agree with me? Anyone on every human being on earth can appreciate music, and we can feel, right? When we listen to a beautiful, truly beautiful song, we'll all experience kind of like the same emotion, in our heart. It touches our soul, right? We are souls in this human body here. And I feel like by acknowledging this and admitting this to ourselves and dropping down, right, from our conditioned mind and our distorted ego, if we drop into the heart and into our bodies, we will feel it. We can feel it on our body level. We're literally one, and we're together, you guys, and we're here to co-create together with our higher selves and with each other as the new leaders on earth and the new era and the next dimension. And this is exciting. I feel like it's very exciting, you guys. The more vulnerable we are going to allow ourselves to be with ourselves, with each other, with our loved ones, with family, with life, with nature, you know, how about we go publicly and be ourselves? I think maybe you want to try that. Think about what you can do, what your soul wants to express right now or tomorrow. And go public, go out, go get out there and be yourself. I feel like this is going to be very exciting. I don't know, I'm getting this very exciting energy, you know, of all of us, guys. We, the people, are coming finally together. Isn't that great? Isn't that exciting? I don't know, I feel joy. I don't know how about you guys, but I feel like we've definitely received some powerful energy codes and downloads today, right? Through this video. And I'm very, very grateful to all of you who have listened until the end, if you had the patience. I really hope that you have enjoyed this. And please let me know in the comments. Feel free to share your story or anything you feel comfortable sharing with. I want you to know that you are not alone. You are not alone in your pain. You are not alone in anything you are going through right now, whatever the journey is. And you are not alone in your joy either. We are also on the pathway to some extreme fucking joy, you guys. We are having 5D, fifth dimensional, reality already starting to manifest on earth. We are already in it, you guys, and it's beyond our wildest dreams. I know, and I can sense it. I can feel it, that in front of us, ahead of us, our future is very, very bright. And I feel like I'm gonna do some, videos about this, and I'm gonna channel maybe some information right from the source about like what we can expect, what kind of energies, right, kind of awaiting us in the new 5D reality, in the new earth, new era on planet earth, right, as human civilization. But I can already feel it, I can already sense it now, you guys. And if you're an empath, or you're a spiritual person, you're a psychic, you're a light worker, or whoever, I feel like if you tune in my energy to my voice right now, you can actually feel it too. It's amazing. I can feel some big expansion right now, some great expansion in my heart chakra, in my chest area. And I feel some fresh air coming, right through our lungs. And this freshness, this newness, this is it, you guys. This is the new reality coming through our body right now. Yay! Let's celebrate! But see what I was trying to say, you guys? Remember, this all can come in for us on physical level only when we open our hearts to it. We cannot sit, closed in behind the closed doors. We cannot lock ourselves in our, I gotta do it all alone. I'm a tough person. I can do it all myself. Especially you guys, men, the gentlemen. If you identify as a male, I know there is a lot of conditioning, right? You guys been told like, men don't ever cry, crying is for girls, and you cannot do this, and you gotta be tough, you gotta be strong. Gentlemen, start being vulnerable now. As much as you feel comfortable, try, just take a baby step. If you resonate with this message, allow yourself to cry in public, in front of a woman, because it takes a lot of fucking balls and a lot of courage, a lot of strength to be vulnerable for a man, in front of anybody, or even just with yourself, You don't have to do it all alone. We, the women of this planet Earth, we, the divine feminines, we are here to love you. We are here loving ourselves, receiving pleasure, and we are here to hold space for you guys. We are here to support you. We are here to nurture you. So please do not despair. Do not judge yourself. Don't, try to let go. Start letting go of guilt and shame and embarrassment in whatever area of life you feel. Don't think that if you're going to be vulnerable and you're going to open up, this means that you're complaining or you're whining or you're weak. Vulnerability is our greatest strength and power. This is the key to access our unlimited divine power and human power, as people, as personas, right here, the key to our true happiness on a deeper level, on our long-lasting success, generational wealth and the new reality, is just being ourselves. And without being vulnerable, without allowing ourselves to be vulnerable as men, as women, as any other gender that you identify, or people with no gender, it doesn't matter. We all have human bodies. If we are here in the physical body, we are humans. And that is by definition vulnerable. People are vulnerable at essence. This is our natural nature, you guys. So I feel like a lot of problems and a lot of suffering on our planet has been happening for centuries only because we did not allow ourselves to be ourselves. We did not allow ourselves to be vulnerable, to open up and open our heart, get out of the suffering, get out of the pain, right? Move on and step into our, royalty, our divine spiritual and physical royalty, our true power, our natural nature. Our essence is love. Our essence is flow. We are the flow itself, you guys. When we are vulnerable, we allow ourselves to flow with the universal life force and love. And we're becoming one with our higher self, with who we truly are, beyond illusions, beyond the limitations. And this makes us untouchable. It makes us unstoppable. We are fucking unstoppable when we are just being ourselves. Don't take my word for it. Don't believe me. Try it for yourself, okay? But I really, really love you. And be authentic, you guys. The new era is opening for us when we allow ourselves to be fully authentic at any moment of our life. If you feel like yelling, yell. You feel like crying, cry. You feel like you want to draw. You want to walk, go walk. You want to sing, go sing. You want to sleep, go to sleep. You don't want to go to work, call yourself sick, call off, whatever. Go do whatever your soul, whatever your authentic self is calling you to right now, in this moment. Do it. Follow it. For this is the voice of God within you. This is the voice of the divine. This is the voice of your true power, of your true nature within you. And you can do it. You can do it, you guys. I'm very, very, very grateful for all of you who have listened to this message. Please receive the energy codes that I channel through this video. I hope you feel them. I hope you enjoy them, and take only whatever resonates with you guys. Whatever you don't resonate with, please feel free to not accept it into your reality. Again, I'm a nobody. I am nothing and everything, right? I feel like I am here to just be a mirror. I am a mirror of some parts of you that need to be heard, maybe. Maybe I am expressing something that you have always felt, but you never really had a confirmation, right? What if you doubted yourself? So if you felt it, but if you've been feeling it and you needed a sign, this is a sign, people. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. Again, I'm so blessed. I feel so excited and blessed to be able to share this with you guys. I hope that my intention is that my channel can be a little, like a soulful conversation between your soul and my soul. Like I wanted to make it a space, of warmth and compassion and unconditional love and a source, of energy. I want, my videos and my channel to be, like this mountain spring, when you feel thirsty, when you feel lonely, when you just need to recharge, you just need a little, energetic hug. Please come to my channel. Listen to my videos, audios, whatever I'm gonna produce. I'm gonna create a lot of shit, guys. I'm getting into my creative mode now. Woohoo! Thank you for sharing this moment with me, and be loved because you are loved by essence. And let this video be a reminder of how amazing and magnificent and limitlessly abundant and powerful and joyful you are, and alive Remember, you guys, that we are all alive. You are so alive. So be alive. Allow yourself to be alive, to be human, and enjoy this fucking human experience, this material world, right? Go watch some stars tonight, right? Have a glass of a wine or your favorite hot drink with your beloved partner or your friend or your parents. Call your parents if you haven't talked to them for years. Call your parents, even if they pissed you off and they're so freaking annoying sometimes. Call them or text them, say, you know what, guys, mom, dad, I just love you. Sending you hugs, even if they don't reply. And even if you know that their ego or their mind will not allow them, to be humble and to reply or to answer in the same way to you, still, reach out. Do it if you feel so. Do it for yourself, Start expressing. Start creatively expressing yourself, guys, in any shape or form that you see fit or called, and be yourself. And I love you. I love you so much. I feel so inspired by all of you. So inspired and so excited for what's coming for us, guys. I feel like we have just reestablished the connection with the cord, through our umbilical energetic cord, from our belly to the life and world around us, by being here today. I feel like this might be some of the codes that I channeled for you guys, but yeah, I know that every person who listens to my messages will receive exactly what they need to receive at this point in time on their journey. And I trust in the process, you guys. I trust in my process, and I trust in you. I trust in you. I believe in you, and I know that you can do it, and we can all do it together. We're all in this together, my friends, my beautiful souls. Love you. Bye. See you next time.